Hey Marie, so I'm standing off to the side of the camera right now just to give you a glimpse of what's going on right now. This literally just happened in the last 2 minutes. A group of protesters kind of went past the gates where for the last hour they've been standing there peacefully singing and saying prayers. I can hear what sounds like a taser going on right now. People just fell over that look like they're members of the clergy. They were wearing some sort of garbs that would show that they're part of a religious order. Many of the people in the crowd here are from faith-based organizations. Again, they were just singing and saying prayers up until about a couple minutes ago. And you have the sheriffs, the deputies from the Cook County Sheriff's Office trying to contain these folks, pushing them back behind the barricades right now, back to where they were again peacefully for the last hour, but then they broke through and just had a brief clash with the deputies. Hopefully this will get under control in the next couple minutes, but you can be sure that we'll be out here to monitor the situation and continue to check back in with you.
Lauren, I want to ask you a few questions, and hopefully you can still hear me. I know it's a pretty chaotic scene out there right now. Can you explain? I'm seeing some concrete barricades a little farther back, and then are these people who have overtaken some less permanent barricades, or how are they able to bridge this line that law enforcement had set up?
You know, that is a great question. There are a lot of concrete barricades as you get closer to the facility, but there are more. I don't know if you can see these right now. There are a couple of plastic barricades much closer to where the press was set up, and out of nowhere, I mean, we were ready to go into our live shot to tell you a little bit more about some other immigration enforcement developments going on today. Out of nowhere, somebody just pushed one of the plastic ones aside, and then these clashes began. It looks like some people are being zip-tied right now. I see one person on the ground wearing a backpack. There are other sheriff's deputies that you might not be able to see from the camera, but I could see through some people that are literally just have their bodies pushed up against people, trying to get them back to that protester safety area. I'm trying to see what else we can observe right now. Again, I just want to repeat that it was calm for an hour. They were singing church songs for an hour and praying, and then out of nowhere this kind of exploded. We do have some members of the media that are sort of stepping in our camera shot right now, but hopefully they're getting a handle on it. A couple people being arrested. Most of the crowd that kind of ran into this space is back behind those lines where they're supposed to be. I do know that they were singing for a short amount of time before this little bit of chaos ensued about wanting to or like let us in. They were going to try to be bringing some Holy Communion, I think, into the facility, even though in recent weeks they've been denied that opportunity several times. So that could be what precipitated this kind of outburst.
Yeah, Lauren, I can see
what we see here. Again, there's at least one person on the ground.
Right. Yeah, we're seeing them through. So that is a group of media there right along the line. But if, as we zoom in here, you can see someone, yes, being zip-tied on the ground there, face down. Lauren, you mentioned that in the moments before, as we watch this, there's two people there that we see. As we were watching this scene,
yes, two people. Yep.
It seemed, you mentioned that people prior to this were just sort of peacefully singing and chanting. Historically, Friday mornings are when we have seen a lot more activity when it comes to demonstrations outside the Broadview ICE facility. I'm curious if you can plot out for me when the crowd grew, or how it grew over the morning, ultimately leading to the conflict that we're seeing right now.
Sure. So we started seeing some members that looked like they were from churches because they were wearing, traditional robes and the priest collars, showing up around 7:30. This protest had a start time of 9 o'clock. By the time the 9 o'clock hour came around, I had counted about 150 protesters. Then between 9 o'clock and 9:30, they actually opened up the other side of the street here, allowed protesters to come on these other barricades. So, let's call that double, probably 300 people. And then even now, I went back to the car to get my phone because it's getting low on battery, charge it up, and about 10 minutes ago I even saw people, an hour after this protest had a start time, streaming in. So people continue to arrive, and as you mentioned, Fridays do, if there ever is a day of the week to get a little rowdy, Fridays seem to be that day. I can see from here right now a guy that looks like he has a priest collar on that is getting his hands zip tied. And by the way, we're staying back this far for our safety.
Yes.
I know there's some other cameras that are a little bit closer up, but we've put a priority on safety here at our station. So this is the angle that we're going to get that stay safe. Oh boy. Okay, that just happened. That was right in front of our camera.
Yep. Lauren,
we're just going to keep monitoring what's going on out here.
Sure. Lauren, lastly, if you can give us a sense of your positioning as to where either the actual, from this angle, where the facility building is, or a lot of people are familiar with protests that have been right around the driveway outside this facility. If you can sort of give us where you are in space and time in relation to the building and this crowd.
Sure. So let's see. I'll stand in front of the camera real quick. So this is the end of this of Beach Avenue, that where media has traditionally been able to set up. Sometimes they let us in about 400 feet closer. The facility itself is way down there on the other side. That's where the fence used to be that was taken down. Maybe if you could see where that American flag is, it's about probably 500 feet further from there. And there are a bunch of sheriff's deputies and law enforcement down there, you know, as another method of flanking to make sure nobody gets past there. Again, nobody's been allowed inside this facility for months, except for the group of attorneys, a judge, and an expert yesterday that went inside yesterday because of a court case to kind of view if there's any sort of inhumane conditions as being alleged. Does look like things have calmed down here a little bit. Again, the folks right in front of here appear to all be members of the press, and the protesters look like, for the most part, they are now on their sides where they are supposed to be. I'm gonna peek around real quick.
Yeah, please. I'm also curious, Lauren, if you saw which way.
See anybody else.
If you see which way they're taking the people who have been zip tied. You see one of them here right now coming by our camera.
There's one.
Or people being pushed out of the way.
He wasn't zip tied, but he was just being pushed out of the way.
Can you tell if they're taking them back into a building or into any police vehicles once they have been zip tied?
I did not see. Well, actually, I see one young woman being taken down the street toward several squad cars, another person with their hands behind their back. There's also a bus down there that looks like it has the logo of Cook County Sheriff's Department. Oh, now we see state police moving in here with batons and helmets on. So,
and just beyond you, I think we did see people being led away farther down this block. It seems, Lauren, like as soon as the tenor drops, it tends to pick back up again as far as bringing some calm over this crowd. No doubt it'll stay like that for much of the morning.
Definitely a roller coaster. Yeah, I thought we were done here. Yeah. But yeah, no, state police are here. They look like they have wooden batons. They've got some helmets on now. I don't know if, you know, perhaps they have a safety plan for when things escalate. Okay, now send the state police in. Probably that's the case. But, you know, that's kind of the latest that we're seeing here. Definitely a lot going on.
Yeah, we're going to keep
an hour, you know, for the last hour, as I keep repeating, you know, there was not much.
Right. No, this is a great example of how quickly, you know, for good and for tense, these sorts of interactions can change. We have CBS Skywatch on the way to give us an overhead look at this situation here in Broadview. Lauren, if I can keep you with me just as we continue to watch this scene. It does appear, and you mentioned state police moving in. Is this the first time that we're seeing this larger group of law enforcement, specifically with these helmets that we're seeing on them?
Today, definitely the first time I've seen it today. It was, you know, a fair amount of sheriff's deputies that were out here this morning monitoring the situation. But yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing state police come out.
And prior to the most intense part of this, did you see people, you know, with their messaging being, you know, one, you mentioned some more prayerful songs. What were some of the statements that you were hearing or the chants from the people who gathered outside there this Friday morning?
They were singing "We Are Not Afraid." They were singing, you know, tear the walls down of Broadview, but not in a menacing way. It was almost, you know, if anybody knows Christian music, it had like that sort of Christian cadence to it, very almost positive and happy, like you know, a group out here just trying to show some love. I can read a sign from here that says "God demands freedom." A lot of people around here have signs that have biblical verses on them. But there are also some signs here that, you know, we cannot show on TV because they have curse words that are you know, pointed.
I didn't see any like that.
I saw a few.
Who are you working for, Fox?
I'm actually live on the air right now. No,
are you really?
I'm not.
Why are you lying to them?
I'm not lying, sir. Please, I saw some signs.
We're going to make sure that Lauren is okay.
But there are several.
Do you know how many religious leaders are out here?
Our thanks to Lauren. We're going to make sure she's okay as she's interacting with some people who have gathered out at